First and foremost, you need to understand what does your customer value. Because once we know what our customers value, we will then know how best to serve them.
But why is it so difficult to get right? I mean, we've had supply chains and logistics for centuries, perhaps even millenniums.
Most businesses are still operating with old systems, legacy solutions, old ways of looking at things. Because they were designed in a world where you could say there was relative stability. The world was a little bit more predictable than it is today. So I think that some of these old players, they can probably learn a thing or two from some of the new players. And I'm not talking about, companies that have just arisen yesterday or so.
How do you do it, basically? How do you get to design a completely new supply chain?
I think any company that is undertaking a big corporate transformation or a big change from old ways of doing things to new ways of looking at operating supply chains needs to understand that change is not going to happen overnight. Then it's about understanding, where do we invest in our capabilities? And by capabilities, I don't just mean technology, It's not about just technology solutions. It's also our people, because it's recognizing that in times of change, we've also potentially got to upskill and reskill our people as well. And then thirdly, work with our supply chain partners, both upstream and downstream. So this means, work with your logistics service provider upstream to achieve your performance outcomes, whether that's responsiveness, whether that's reliable logistics. But then downstream, understanding what does your customer need, what do they want?
What should these companies then demand from their logistics service provider?
Fundamentally, it's about understanding, let's build a strategic partnership based on aligning our performance goals. And I think switching our mindset from, that the relationship between a customer and LSP is based on transaction costs, right? It's not transactional. It should be more like a partnership approach.